I have no idea if I'm in frame or what it's going to look like. The nice thing about using my phone, and by the way, welcome back. Today's arm day. It's Saturday. I typically will take Friday off, so I work out Monday to Thursday, take Friday off, arm days on Saturday. The main reason is because I get to have a little recovery because by the time it hits Thursday, my arms are a little bit tired. So yeah, luckily I like using my phone because I can connect it to my watch, and so I can see what. Well, I can't. Actually, like 70% of the time, I can't see what it's recording, but I can change it between like the fisheye lens and the zoomed-in lens and stuff like that, which I really like, and I can start and stop it. Some people will have a real camera, like a real Sony camera, mounted on a tripod, recording in the gym, but then they can't get as close as they want to unless they change lenses. So it's really nice using the phone. So yeah, it's arm day. We're starting off with rope push down, and then we're gonna hit some whatchamacallums, skull crushers, and then do some biceps, and then maybe a little bit of shoulders for fun, followed by battle ropes to end it off. So yeah, Saturday, it's a really nice day. It's a chill day. It is about 10:30. So I'm in, I wake up and it's so on. And of course I'm in here and I'm talking my face off. One thing that I think is worth noting is that I've really, really learned a lot about myself in this year. Every year I get more and more mature, and I'm embarrassed about who I was before. And it's kind of funny that way because I always feel that I'm as mature as I'll get and stuff, and then I get more. In the sense of, maybe wisdom, not maturity. I don't know if it's fair for me to even say that. But one of the things I have noticed about myself is that the music I listen to and the books that I'm reading and the things that I'm absorbing really, really affect how I feel. If you listen to sad music, you're going to feel a little bit sad. If you listen to music that's all like, I'm the best, I have a bunch of money, I'm the best, then you're going to feel really good about yourself. And likewise with the books that I'm reading. Sometimes I'll go into a little stint where I'm reading really, really boring books. Like this one book I'm reading is called Debt, D-E-B-T, Debt. And it's just a book about the history of debt and money and stuff like that, and it's really interesting, but it's not motivational or anything. Whereas I recently reread, I think for the second or third time, The Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. And that's a very inspiring book. So when I'm reading books like that, it will affect me in my life because I'm trying to kind of apply or be like, or, you can say Nelson Mandela is a remote mentor for me in that way. Where I look up to him, even though he's passed, I'm reading about him and about his life. So yeah, right now I'm reading the Book of Five Rings, or A Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. And that's good, because I'm trying to get a little bit more stoic and a little bit more, I don't know, I'm really, really having a hard time with this diet and the whole lifestyle of bodybuilding prep. I'm really, really feeling it. I think because it's summertime now, because when I went to Toronto for my most recent show, that was only early June, so that was just summer starting. And now it's coming up the end of July, and so summer feels almost over for me. And I still have 11 weeks until Olympia from today, and it just feels like it's just so difficult for me because I've been putting aside the rest of my life for 7-8 months now. And, I've been really just having a hard time having the rest of my life, not in a crazy way, but a lot of my life has been on the back burner for just bodybuilding in general. And in the beginning it was pretty easy because I was able to just say, okay, this is what I'm focusing on, everything else could step aside for a little bit, but it's been a lot of it now. Yeah, so it's really starting to get to me, I think, and so I really just have to get back into the mindset of I don't know. It just feels so different now that I have done it and I am accomplished. It's a very different feeling. Oh, 45. And I actually feel pretty good in my triceps there. All right. I'm gonna do the next 3 sets off camera, and then I'll see you at Skull Crushers. All right, so we're ready for Skull Crushers, and yeah, so I'm reading a book of 5 rings right now, just trying to reset my mentality because I have been reading quite a bit lately, and it's been mostly about, just like life, stuff like that. Like The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F is actually a really good book. Maybe a little bit of philosophy I want to start reading as well. Like I've read Albert Camus, one of his books that's like a compilation of a couple of his essays, like The Myth of Sisyphus and stuff. It just talks about, life is freedom, but it's really more about having the freedom to choose what you don't have freedom for, or something like that, where it's like, I can do anything, but I have to choose to do something. And the value, or not the value, but the sense of purpose is from suffering. So like when you suffer for a purpose, such as like Nelson Mandela, who he endured a lot, but for a purpose, and so it gives meaning to your life. No matter how big or small that suffering or purpose really is, in the grand scheme of things, you're just not supposed to think about that, because it's nothing matters if you think about it too much. And yeah, so it's like trying to find, for me, like where I am willing to suffer, if that makes sense. Because a lot of my life is so comfortable that I'm not really, that I'm just too comfortable. And there's no challenges. I mean, there are. That's the thing, is there are challenges. So I just need to, kind of change my perspective, I suppose. Because this bodybuilding is suffering. The diet, the slowly starving myself, the whole thing is suffering. And I need to, just decide that it is what I'm doing, and to kind of value the suffering in a way. Because mentally, I've been, as soon as I get hungry and I feel hungry, I'm not willing to be hungry for Mr. Olympia or something like that. And so it's hard for me to stick with the diet, because it's just not where my head is at. But I'm working on that right now, actually. So I think one of the books I'm going to read next is You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. He's sort of become a meme, David Goggins has become a bit of a meme, just because of how extreme he is. I don't know what a good zoom is, maybe this. But yeah, so David Goggins has become sort of a meme, but I think his book will be valuable for me to kind of get into the mindset of I am willing to suffer for something greater than myself, even if it's just a bodybuilding show. Yeah. All right. So anyway, let's do these. That's my buddy who I just nodded at. I need you on my lap. I'm going for a while.
Huh?
I'm going for a while. This could be 50 reps. Oh.
I was here to help you.
I'm doing 3 reps in reserve.
Well, I'm just saying, trying to get it up was
Oh, getting it up.
Yeah,
That was a go, bro.
that was tough. It's usually if I do 50 pounds, I can get it up, but it's all good. I appreciate it.
That guy is super cool. He was a Navy SEAL actually. And I totally lost count of my reps, so I'm gonna have to watch the video to see how many reps that was. But I am now going to, let's see. I don't know if this is more on my face or not, but I'm gonna now stop the video and continue on. I'm starting to feel pretty exhausted right about now. So we're doing these seated curls with 45 pounds, and it's about to destroy me completely. Today's pretty good though. A lot of friends of mine are here right now, and chit-chatting, talk with them, you know, and it makes me definitely happier. I really miss having a social life, to be honest. I really miss that. It's my fault, right? It's up to me to build it or to not. But it's tough, you know? Like I was talking to my best friend, Estefanio, who came with me to Toronto. He's doing internship. He's doing his PhD right now. So right now he's doing an internship as a PhD student at a startup, and you know it's in person. It's, you know, they have lunch together and they talk about cool things and intellectual conversations and learn from each other, and you get to grow, you know, because when you're working at a startup you do a bunch of different things. You're not just subtasked out to like a small section of whatever. So I really wish I had something like that. Yeah, but it's nice having my buddies here in the gym. It feels good. It feels like a nice day today. Overall good. So let's put that goodness energy into my biceps. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. I started to feel it in my right bicep, like I need to warm up more or something. So that was 8. That was pretty low reps. I think next week I might bump it down to 35 pounds instead of 45 and go for like 20 reps. I don't know. I definitely want to stay above 8 reps just because that's more into strength territory, where I want to be more into size territory, which would be above 8 and then, you know, like below 30, give or take. Mostly give. Anyway, that's the first set. I'm going to do 3 more sets of this. Then we're going to try to do the preacher curls with probably the same weight, probably 45-pound preacher curls. And then after that we'll be done. And then battle ropes. So overall not bad. Here I am, peeking my head over the dumbbell. Preacher curls. If I'm remembered for anything, it would be kind of cool to be remembered through the name of a workout. You know, like you get the Arnold press, which is the shoulder press. You get the preacher curls, which is, I forget the first guy, the first name of the guy, but Preacher. Some guy's named Preacher, right? I might be a little bit late. There's so many things that are, like workouts already exist. This is not a developing field. This is an existing field. I don't know. I'm sure I can get something. You know what? Maybe. My buddies and I in university, we used to do this workout on bench press where you take all the 10s in the gym, the whole gym, take all the 10-pound plates, stack them on until you get to like 225, 285, whatever. So you got like 10 tens on either side, and you're repping it out, and you just do, even if it's just one rep, and then you have one friend on either side, and they'll strip off a 10, and then you keep going until you're down to the bar. And when you're doing the bar, you get 5 reps, and you cannot move at all. Oh, I miss those days. Yeah. I definitely... Yeah. Okay. Well, before I start crying, let's do some curls here. And I'm going to drop the mic because otherwise it's going to get... Actually, no, it won't. Okay. So keep the mic up here. And let's do it. We got 45 pounds, 4 sets, which means 8 sets. Yeah. Okay, that was 13, 3 ropes in reserve. I'll see you at battle ropes, maybe. Time for some battle ropes. What I've been doing is I do 200 rope swings, and then I add 10 every day. So I think today, the last time I did it, I did 230 or 220. I think I did 230. So today's, I'm going to do 240. I'll typically take a break around 100 for a few seconds, and then I'll take a break at 200 and then finish out that last, like, kind of daily edition. So you can see how I get the ropes out. It's actually not too difficult. Once you get them in your hand, you just kind of back up and pull them out. But I will say that these ropes are horrible. Really pathetic. You know, this gym is supposed to be somewhat nice, but it's really not that nice. At least it is, but you know, the ropes don't match the niceness of the rest of the gym, which is sad. Okay. These ropes are really uneven. Alright, that was 240. Gonna end it there. I love you. Goodbye.